been waiting my whole life for this. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for the View host, Sonny Hostin, has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run these women. Tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud, and I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury?
Sonny Hostin is facing serious trouble. Think brink of bankruptcy serious. But the drama doesn't stop there. Her husband, he's just been arrested in connection with a massive $450 million RICO fraud case. So how did things unravel so badly for this once powerful couple? Buckle up. This wild ride of scandal, betrayal, and downfall is just getting started. You won't believe what happens next.
Yeah, you're married. Tom, you're married. If your husband's doing something, if he's allegedly doing something like this, you guys would know if your wives were up to some nefarious stuff. But let's just not forget who she is. She's been, for years, lecturing America about morality, inequality, systemic failures, and look at her track record. How many times has she had to go on in the past 2 months and look at the camera and do a legal apology for all the stuff that she said on the show? And then she also, on Trump's win, calling the loss because of uneducated white women that Trump won.
We have to know that. This is accused.
All accused. Yeah, all accused, but he's in the RICO. This is a big RICO case that her husband's in there.
Sonny Hostin might have thought her most dramatic moments would come from dissecting political scandals on The View, but this latest twist makes the show look like a Sunday school picnic. When the co-hosts need outside help to stir up scandal, you know things are getting real. But this time, it's not just her razor-sharp commentary making headlines. It's her husband, the orthopedic surgeon, whose medical expertise might just drag them both into a storm of legal trouble with a side of financial ruin.
Orthopedic surgeon and husband of The View co-host Sonny Hostin is accused in December lawsuit fraudulently billing insurance. By the way, this is a Daily Caller story I'm reading. The lawsuit alleges Hostin knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services in exchange for kickbacks and or compensation, and names him among nearly 200 defendants in one of New York's largest RICO cases. Wow. Hostin's attorney Daniel Twites denies the allegations, calling the lawsuit a meritless attempt by a near bankrupt insurance carrier to intimidate doctors and restrict healthcare benefits. The case involves claims that Hostin performs unnecessary surgeries on patients after minor accidents without exploring less invasive treatments, with American Transit citing New York's 1974 no-fault law as contributing to widespread insurance fraud.
Imagine waking up to find you're not dealing with your average hospital drama, but a jaw-dropping $450 million racketeering lawsuit. Yep, oops. When your husband's at the center of one of the biggest insurance fraud cases in the country, and you've built a reputation preaching moral high ground on The View. Well, that high horse is about to gallop straight into a wall of scandal and debt. Talk about a plot twist and irony.
The View co-host Sonny Hostin's husband, Emmanuel Hostin, has been accused of federal insurance fraud. According to a new lawsuit obtained by Page 6, the orthopedic surgeon was one of 200 defendants named in one of the biggest racketeer, influence, and corrupt organization cases ever filed in New York. Emmanuel was accused of federal insurance fraud and, quote, getting kickbacks by performing surgery and billing a company that insured taxi companies and Uber and Lyft drivers. According to the documents, he knowingly provided fraudulent medical and other healthcare services, including arthroscopic surgeries.
Here's the scoop. Dr. Host is allegedly raking in kickbacks for performing, wait for it, unnecessary surgeries. Knees, shoulders, you name it. If it was lucrative, it was on the table. Meanwhile, insurance companies were left footing the bill for procedures that may or may not have even happened. Classic case of, oh, you thought I was fixing your knee? No, sweetheart, I was padding my bank account.
You always say it's always the people that always do the pointing, and it always comes back to them, all right? So when you said this is the largest RICO case ever filed in the state of New York, you guys wrap that around your brain. That's bigger than the mafia case. Like the mafia one was number one. This one takes it over. So he was scamming insurance companies from taxi drivers, Uber drivers, and Lyft drivers. He was performing unnecessary surgeries and then providing fraudulent medical services in exchange for the kickbacks.
And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, the plot thickens. While Dr. Host is allegedly cashing in on a string of shady surgeries, Sunny's on the sidelines, doing her best to keep her View persona intact. You'd think she'd know how to handle a scandal, but instead, we're getting a whole lot of radio silence and strategic avoidance. It's like she's hoping the courtroom chaos will magically sort itself out while she perfects her shocked on-camera expression for when the story inevitably explodes. But let's be real. If Sunny thought this could stay tucked away as a private family matter, she's in for a rude awakening. When your husband's name is suddenly tied to one of the biggest RICO cases New York has ever seen, the time for silence is over. No amount of no comment or carefully rehearsed poker faces is going to make this storm pass quietly. Let's pause and acknowledge just how absurd this whole situation is. We've all seen enough political scandals to last a lifetime, but this isn't about leaked emails or campaign finance violations. We're talking health insurance fraud, fake surgeries, and a husband allegedly running a surgical crime ring like it's an episode of Grey's Anatomy gone full mafia. You couldn't script it better if you tried.
Guys, this is why we need to seriously have a long, lengthy conversation about healthcare in the United States of America. This is basically it. So Sunny Hostin's husband was basically charged with insurance fraud. What he was doing was doing like fraudulent surgeries and then overcharging the insurance companies for him. This is what this is. So now, of course, he's now being named, along with about 200 other individuals, in a federal RICO charge case.
Forget The Godfather. This is Grey's Anatomy if all the surgeons were secretly mob bosses. Sure, it's easy to point fingers at the insurance companies, but let's not pretend they're the moral compass of the healthcare world. Oh, you need a life-saving procedure? Here's a denial letter and a hearty good luck. But try accusing them of shady dealings and they'll unleash a legal team fierce enough to sell sand in a desert. And yet in this twisted saga, the insurance companies aren't the villains. They're the victims of a doctor's alleged greed. Let that absurdity sink in for a moment. Of course, it wouldn't be a Sunny Hostin scandal without The View making a cameo. The irony is thick enough to slice with a scalpel. Sunny, the outspoken crusader for justice and accountability, now finds herself in the hot seat, fielding the kind of tough questions she usually fires at others. Meanwhile, her husband, one of 180 defendants in a sweeping RICO lawsuit, is accused of defrauding multiple insurance companies out of millions. Millions that, just maybe, could have gone toward actual patient care. The whole thing plays like a primetime drama, with a cast of characters no writer could have imagined.
I've been waiting my whole life for this one. Orthopedic surgeon and husband for The View host Sunny Hostin has been named in a federal lawsuit alleging insurance fraud. She got on television. She got in. She run. These women tell me why she got her husband is named in a lawsuit in insurance fraud, and I'm gonna show you exhibit. Let me say exhibit B. Can you show this to the jury? Roll it, Nick.
You know, doctors suffer because of big corporations as well. Doctors that want to do good, like my husband.
But Sunny, she's staying silent, dodging questions, and clinging to the image of someone far removed from the chaos. Someone who doesn't get her hands dirty. You know the saying, when it rains, it pours? This isn't a drizzle, it's a full-blown monsoon of absurdity. While Sunny lounges in her designer chair on The View, casually sipping coffee and delivering sharp commentary on the world's problems, her husband is allegedly out here pulling a heist on the healthcare system, pocketing kickbacks, performing or pretending to perform unnecessary surgeries, and draining insurance companies dry. But hey, let's all keep pretending this doesn't reek of a lawsuit just waiting to explode. And here's the kicker. It's not just about Dr. Host. That would be far too simple. This lawsuit, it's an intricate web of corruption involving dozens of doctors, entire medical practices, and even hospitals. It's like the mafia decided to swap the ski masks for surgical masks and opened up shop in the healthcare industry. According to the plaintiffs, American Transit Insurance, they were swindled out of millions, footing the bill for surgeries that were either never done or never needed. And now, they want their money back. But don't worry, it only gets juicier from here.
Last week, we learned that Sonny's husband, Dr. Emmanuel Hostin, was named in a lawsuit filed by American Transit Insurance Company. He's one of 200 people named in this lawsuit, and they are accusing him of filing fraudulent insurance claims and also getting kickbacks from them. And it's a very serious crime. In fact, it's one of the largest, if not the largest, RICO case in New York's history, and they're seeking $450 million. And Sonny and her husband, they are fighting back. They've hired legal eagle Mark Garagos to help them fight this case, and they're claiming that this is completely baseless.
According to reports, Dr. Host's lawyer isn't exactly backing down, labeling the lawsuit as nothing more than a desperate move by an insurance company teetering on financial collapse. Classic legal spin. When you're cornered, flip the script. Oh, you're accusing my client of fraud. Maybe you're the real criminal here. It's a defense strategy as old as time, and honestly, it's almost entertaining to watch unfold. Now, back to Sonny, who's been curiously quiet through all of this. And if you know anything about her, that silence is loud. She's usually the one stirring the pot on The View, grilling politicians, calling out injustice, and taking on everything from Trump to Twitter trolls. But now that her own husband is allegedly at the center of a multi-million-dollar fraud ring, suddenly it's crickets. Is she pulling the "I had nothing to do with it" card? Or maybe she's hoping if she stays quiet long enough, it'll all just blow over before it torpedoes her public image. But come on, does she really think this isn't going to make headlines? It's like watching a soap opera character pretend their affair didn't just get caught on camera, except instead of a steamy kiss, it's an illegal surgery ring. You can almost hear the dramatic music swelling as we wait for the next big twist. And something tells us the curtain hasn't even begun to fall.
Anna went in a different direction, but I love the fact that, Manny is younger and he's
How
very...
much younger is he?
Just a little bit.
He's like 1 year, isn't he?
Like a month or a year or 10 years?
No,
or what?
5 years. It's more than a year.
Oh.
Anyway, it's not about me. I think.
Oh, no.
I think that it's very helpful that he's handy, and when we travel, I'm not picking up any bags. He's the one that's hefting them overhead. He throws the garbage out.
Right.
He does the heavy stuff.
Let's be real. This isn't just a scandal. This is a billion-dollar disaster, potentially one of the biggest medical fraud cases in recent history. And it's not just Dr. Host in the spotlight. It's an entire web of corruption. Doctors, hospitals, insurance companies, even unsuspecting patients caught in the crossfire. It reads like the plot of a heist film, only instead of robbing a bank, the loot came straight from people's health insurance premiums. At the heart of it all, if the allegations hold up, lies a brutal truth. The healthcare system is deeply broken. Profit has taken the driver's seat, while patient care is shoved to the back, if it's even in the car at all. Is this really the world we're okay with, where doctors are allegedly more focused on padding their wallets than healing their patients? If this is the kind of system Sonny Hostin is comfortable defending or ignoring, well, we've got a bridge to sell her. But let's not pretend the doctors are the only problem. This scandal exposes the rot throughout the entire healthcare industry. Insurance companies aren't exactly the heroes they're notorious for denying claims, hiking premiums, and putting red tape ahead of real care. Meanwhile, physicians like Dr. Host are allegedly gaming the system for maximum personal gain. It's a race to the bottom, and the real losers the everyday patients. People just trying to get the care they need in a system that seems more focused on profits than people.
Honey shook the tree and a bunch of mobsters fell out, right? This is big stuff. And so, and thank you for bringing that video. It sure is ironic that she's up there. So, but if she didn't really know what was going on, right, which is what she's probably going to say later, oh, I had no idea what my husband and his associates were doing. We'll wait and see what that is. But I think it's pretty freaking ironic.
Yeah. I have a totally different perspective on this. I don't really know what happened with this. The facts will come out. What I have a problem with is the core of who this woman is. Unlike you, I don't watch The View, bro. All I do is see clips.
It's just like twice a day.
But here's all I hear from her. America's violent. America's racist. America's bad. Okay. I challenge you, Sonny. And this is Constantine Kissin actually was saying something about this. Find me a country that's not racist.
Sunny might want to start prepping a new line for her audience because healthcare and her personal life are a mess. Dr. Host isn't guilty yet, but the allegations are serious. Racketeering, insurance fraud, and a wife probably weighing divorce versus bankruptcy. What was once a cushy career and political platform has turned into one of TV's most absurd scandals. The case is dragging on, turning the spotlight on Sunny and making The View look like the calmest place around. Will Dr. Host walk away clean, or is this just the start of a spectacular downfall? Each day brings new twists, juicy drama, and courtroom chaos that feels more like a soap opera than a legal case. Sunny's image isn't untouchable either. This saga is far from over, and spoiler alert, it's not going to end with a feel-good victory. Real life, it seems, beats TV drama every time.